Good afternoon. This is Superior Church. It is now 4:01. I would like to call this meeting to order. Could I get a roll call, please?
Chair Chirk,
Present.
Vice Chair Bednarczyk,
Present.
Second Vice Chair Roberts, excused. Commissioner Clevin,
Here.
Commissioner Hackett-Morgan,
Here.
Commissioner Westfield,
Here.
Commissioner Douglas, excused. Commissioner DeSantis,
Here.
Commissioner Chi,
Here.
Commissioner Lee,
Here.
Commissioner Beals,
Here.
Commissioner Portnoy.
Here.
Thank you, Chair. You have a quorum.
There it is.
Thank you. Are we compliance with open meeting law?
Yes, Chair, we are.
Great, thank you. Agenda item number 3, public comment. Comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters on the agenda for action. If you wish to be heard, come forward and give your name for the record. The amount of discussion as well as amount of time any single speaker is allowed may be limited. Are there any public comment? Seeing none, we're moving on to agenda item number 4 for possible action to approve the final minutes by reference of the regular meeting of February 20th, 2025.
Commissioner Hackett-Morgan, so moved.
Commissioner Beals, second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, agenda item number 5, report by Superior Church, Art Commission Chair regarding monthly summary of current initiatives, cultural events, and opportunities. The City of Las Vegas Public Art and Gallery Program, in collaboration with Patience A. Croder from University of Nevada, Las Vegas, William S. Boyd School of Law, Economic Justice, and Small Business Clinic, will offer a workshop exploring information about forming an entity and navigating contracts. This event is free and open to the public at the historic 5th Street School Conference Room, Thursday, April 3rd, 5:30 to 7 p.m. This workshop is part of the ongoing educational workshop series. Join us on April 24th from 5 to 7 p.m. for an artist reception for Windows on First, The Neon Lake by Bailey Anderson. The installation will be on view April 21st to September 19th along the First Street Art Trail. For more information about these events and more, Department of Art, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs programming, please visit www.artslasvegas.org or call 702-229-ARTS. Do any commissioners have additional events or happening that they would like to mention?
This is Commissioner Beals. ASAP Gallery will feature an exhibition by Eileen Pasco, which opens on April 12th. Individuals can find more information on Instagram and sign up for newsletters and news updates. Michelle Patrick's photography exhibition entitled Grace will open at the West Las Vegas Library on April 17th, and Abodo Collective will host a book fair on April 12th.
Thank you. Any
Clevin?
other?
Everyone is welcome to join us on Saturday, March 22nd, for the 3rd Annual Art UK Art and Mental Health Resource Fair from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the historic West Side School. The event will feature special guest MC, Deanna Bomchica Colon, Bubba Knight, Mike Xavier, Lit Reezy, Ryan Patrick, Fallon Lewing, and Tomorrow's Star Choir. So please come out and check out the event. Thanks.
All right, from the Nevada Arts Council, there are 2 awards fellowship that are currently open. For fiscal year 2026, Artist Fellowship Award from the Nevada Arts Council is open to submit your application until May 1st at 5 p.m. This award recognizes committed artists living in Nevada reaching pivotal moments in their artistic practice who demonstrate sustained excellence in their work. By acknowledging outstanding artistic accomplishment across the body of work, the program promotes public awareness and appreciation of the role of the artist in a society. We are accepting applications in the following discipline this year: for literary arts, in creative prose and poetry, for performing arts, dance choreography, theater performance and theater direction, and music performance and composition. The Nevada Heritage Fellowship is also opened, and this fellowship recognized tradition bearers living in Nevada whose body of work has contributed to Nevada's traditional arts heritage. The application is currently open and will close May 1st at 5 p.m. There are additional 3 free professional development webinars coming up. On April 10th at 12 p.m., Priming Your Artistic Life for Income, Collaboration, and Expansion, and more. This webinar will discuss concept of foundation building one can do in their community to build a respectable artistic brand over time, highlighting types of interaction that produces goodwill, good reactions, and opportunity. This webinar is hosted by Tristan Acker. On April 30th at 12 p.m., To Go or Not to Go, is a webinar for independent artists and as a guide to prepare for and navigating a fine art fair. What is a fine art fair, and as an independent artist, is it worth time and money? How do I prepare? What should I expect? This webinar is designed to cover some of the many questions that comes to mind around the decision to become a participating exhibitor at an art fair. Also for part 2, held on May 16 at 12 p.m., Curating Your Experience, which you will get into the finer detail of strategy, presentation, and expectation. There will be something to gain for both first-time and seasoned exhibitors. These 2 webinars are hosted by Brianna Dolan, who is the founder of the Reno Tahoe International Art Fairs. All 3 of these webinars are free to attend, but registration is required. More info can be found at nbartcouncil.org. All right, thank you. Are there any other events? Okay, we're going to move on to agenda item number 6, report by Cultural Affairs staff regarding a monthly summary of current initiatives.
Hello, Holly Lay for the record. This is the report by Cultural Affairs staff on our monthly summary of current initiatives. You were all issued a copy of the report document, which includes the written updates for the Percent for the Arts funded projects. Our upcoming Arts Commission schedule is April 17th at 4 p.m. and after that it'll be May 15th and June 19th at 4 p.m. And if you haven't already, please sign up to receive the Public Art and Galleries newsletter, best way to receive information about all of our events and opportunities. This is our current open call. We're accepting forms for the Celebrating Life 2025 exhibition. And we would like to take a moment to recognize Commissioner Suzanne Hackett Morgan for her 3.5 years of commitment to serve on the Las Vegas Arts Commission. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you for all the hard work and dedication that you gave to the community. The Civic Center Plaza building artwork purchase has a completed mural painting by Jake Depio that will be installed in the new building. These are some images from that completed work.
This is Mary Sabo for the record. We conduct regular condition and inventory reports of items in the collection. These reports are used to generate a listing of current maintenance and conservation efforts, which are ongoing. We're always working on that. Members of the public are always encouraged to reach out with any conservation, maintenance, graffiti concerns, general collections care items relating to the public art collection. Email us at publicart@lasvegasnevada.gov. And on the topic of conservation and maintenance, there is some graffiti damage at the Doug Selby Park murals, which were completed in 2021 in partnership with Life is Beautiful. Staff weren't able to remove the graffiti without damage to the underlying murals, so we're coordinating with artist Eric Vizzola to repaint and reapply the protective coating. We're also working on our FY25 artwork inventory. Inventory was due a little bit earlier than expected this year. We were expecting it to be due in June, but I had to send it yesterday. Thanks to the hard work of our staff, though, we were able to get all the information compiled, and we're just working on cleaning up our records and making sure that everything is in good condition and updated.
Holly Lay for the record. Lolita Devillet has completed portraits of the 10 2024 Historic Westside Legacy Park honorees. These portraits are on view at the West Las Vegas Art Center. And to learn more about the past honorees in this ongoing project, you can visit our public art collection page and select under the Projects and Programs tab.
Mary Sabo for the record. The Mirror Valley Community Center mural project is coming along. Project stakeholders selected 3 artists from our pre-qualified muralist list to be semifinalists for this project. They were issued a request for proposals on February 27th. They met with our staff and community center staff on site to discuss project goals and community engagement opportunities. And their proposals will be presented to the evaluation panel and any attending members of the general public on April 16th at 2 p.m., and that will be held right there at the center. The People of Color exhibition is installed here at City Hall, and this will be open through August 7th.
Holly Lay. As part of our public art education series, we had Matt Hodges give a talk about his career and Spiegel World's art collection and curating unusual spaces. This was on March 13th at the historic Fifth Street School.
An update on the seed sculpture by CR2. You may remember this on staff reports of the past, referred to as the Casino Center Pocket Park project. We had to look at different locations for this sculpture due to development at that Casino Center Pocket Park location. And we identified Boulder Plaza as a solution. CR2 has completed their structural engineering plans for the sculpture. These have been shared with Public Works. They are reviewing, and the plans will be submitted for permitting on or before March 26th. So you can see here, this is an architectural a site plan of Boulder Plaza. Let me see if this thing works. Oh, yeah. So this is Boulder Avenue here. Over here is Main Street, and then right here is the proposed sculpture location. And then this is this part of their structural plan. We are also working with artist Adolfo Gonzalez on 2 public art projects for the forthcoming Westside Education and Training Center, a mural and a sculpture project. These are both underway, and we're meeting with construction and art and design teams on site weekly to stay on track for this project, these 2 projects. And that concludes our report. Do commissioners have any questions about any of these projects?
Heather Stenarchak has joined.
This is Commissioner Clevin. I just wanted to extend my gratitude to Susan Hackett Morgan for her years being on this commission. It's been an honor for me to work alongside you, and I wish you the best in your future endeavors. Thank you for being a part of this.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Clevin. You know, this body was something that I really wanted to be on, and I feel very good for the work I was able to do with you all. But y'all out there, they're going to need people. So step up, and I'll see you in Montana.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 7, report by Cultural Affairs staff regarding public art within the Summerlin community.
Holly Lay for the record. This is a presentation that was given to us from someone from Howard Hughes, and they have a video that we would like to play.
May I preface this by saying that there's quite a bit of artwork in Summerlin. However, Howard Hughes has gone through some leadership changes and was rather reluctant to come and address the commission at this time because they were still kind of figuring out which pieces of art they're going to keep, which ones that they were going to decide not to pursue. And so we came to a compromise of this video, and that they would at least give us a video of what was going on in Ward 2. As you know, most of Ward 2 is comprised of the Howard Hughes Corporation. So either be Summerlin or Sun City Summerlin. So this was my presentation to you, to some extent, to make sure that you know what Ward 2 is doing. Thank you.
Perhaps the greatest artist of all is the deft and timeless hand of Mother Nature. When we first laid eyes on this land, we knew we had a great opportunity and responsibility to add to the incredible beauty of Red Rock Canyon. It all began with a simple belief that community planning isn't a science, it's an art. In Summerlin, we believe that people are shaped by their environment and uplifted by art and design, which in turn creates a sense of place and the feeling of shared purpose and belonging. We believe that art creates community and that a vibrant cultural life fosters creativity, innovation, and investment in our future for generations to come, all of which makes the ROI of art just as impactful as its ability to communicate ideas, shape our perspective, inspire meaningful dialogue, as well as provide pure enjoyment for its aesthetic beauty. We believe in the power of art and the art of life to explore new ideas and reconsider what's possible, which is why every day we invite people to be part of something beautiful. Because to us, Summerlin is more than a place to live. It's a way of life, and it's waiting to be explored. Discover the world of art that awaits you throughout Summerlin's 22,500 acres, celestial canopies, murals, sculpture, public art, and memorials abound. Find your path by downloading the Art Locator map at summerlin.com.
So on behalf of City Councilwoman Ward 2 and all of us here in Ward 2, we invite all of you to take a look at Summerlin not only just as a master plan community, but there are in fact quite a few artifacts all around the Summerlin area. And we hope that you'll come and take a look. I know that they are still planning, especially with the new leadership, to install new pieces of art, and we will find out more what they plan to do in 2025 and 2026. Thank you.
Can you hear me? Here we go. I've lived in Summerlin for 9 years, and it's the first time I've seen a map for the artwork and that abounds the development, and I think it's a tremendous idea and a very nice video.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Any comments or questions for the other commissioners? Thank you for listening.
Great, thank you. Moving on to agenda item number 8, report by Cultural Affairs staff regarding the roles and responsibilities of art commissioners.
This is Holly Lay for the record. Okay, so We wanted to go over some stuff from the Public Art Master Plan, specifically Recommendation 6, to help identify specific roles for arts commissioners. We have been getting a lot of questions from some of the commissioners on how they can support programming, outreach, and projects in the integrated capacity. And in the Public Art Master Plan, these questions are identified with some ideas for more participation from the evaluation all the way through the completion of our projects. The project identification and evaluation stage, one example of how commissioners could start supporting projects from the ground up, proposing underutilized spaces in their ward, communicating with their council person and the needs of what they know the community is looking for and what they're interested in having in their ward. The staff does not have to be the only persons that are getting specific sites, and we're definitely open for any research you have to contribute. We also want to talk about the community engagement and outreach aspect. For example, commissioners could host public workshops at a local venue, or we could provide a venue, inviting residents to share ideas for new projects or give specific knowledge that you all might have, hosting different gatherings for artists in the community.
Recommendation 3 from the master plan was policy development and strategic planning. So getting involved in the formulation and review of policies related to public art, ensuring that strategic direction aligns with community needs and artistic standards. This is another way you can engage with your council person. An example of this would be drafting a new policy, encouraging the integration of public art in new private developments by requiring a percentage of construction budgets to be allocated for art installations. You may remember when Michael Howe from the planning department came and gave a presentation about the arts district and kind of what they're planning there. Mainly advocating with your council person to push for more arts funding. Another area is artist selection and oversight, to include commissioners in the panels, which we try to do. For the most part, if we have projects in new wards, if you were the commissioner for Ward 1, for example, we're going to invite you to be on the evaluation panels for projects in that ward. But expanding the role beyond just serving as an evaluator, planning events around the project to create community awareness, helping to identify other project stakeholders since you know those areas best. Another opportunity is in advocacy and fundraising, advocating for public art funding, and seeking partnerships, sponsorships, and grants. So those are the recommendations from the master plan, which you all have. And then what you also have, when you first became arts commissioners and we met with you, we gave you copies of the Las Vegas Municipal Code. So the Municipal Code provides the framework for our public art and gallery program, including the establishment of an advisory body and funding source, as well as defining the parameters of qualifying artworks within the programming. So in Chapter 2.34 of the Municipal Code, and you can read the Municipal Code online, you have printed copies in your binder. So this establishes the purpose of the Arts Commission. There is created an Arts Commission, and the purpose of the Arts Commission shall be to serve as an advisory body to the City Council with respect to matters pertaining to the arts. And then the composition, qualifications, and voting restrictions of the commission. As you know, there's 12 voting members. No member of the Arts Commission shall hold an elected public office. And the members of the Arts Commission shall consider the total cultural well-being of the city and shall be persons who have diverse interests in knowledge about various artistic disciplines. And as an individual, a member of the Arts Commission shall not serve as an advocate for a single arts discipline or for a particular arts organization. And then by extension, members should be cautious about promoting their own business interests as arts commissioners, using this as a venue, to try to promote just what you are doing. I know almost everyone here is involved in some other type of arts organization. And, as your role as commissioner is to promote and support all. The Arts Commission as a whole shall serve as an advocacy body for all arts disciplines and all arts organizations by extension. And if you serve as a board member or an officer of an arts organization, you shall abstain from the discussion with respect to and voting on that organization's applications to the Arts Commission for funding. The membership of the Arts Commission shall include at least one, but not more than 3 arts professionals, and at least one, but not more than 3 practicing artists. So this is just kind of, the jargon in that municipal code. It's not the longest, but it is pretty dense. And as always, if you have questions about the municipal code or the public art plan, the master plan, reach out to us. But we thought we would provide this just a refresher, because we give you all that paperwork, but it's not so fun.
Commissioner Chi, for the record. So going back to that slide, D, I think from my perspective, I know the what, but I don't know the how. So on letter D, where the Arts Commission as a whole shall serve as an advocacy body. So in the example of Hollywood 2.0 coming to Summerlin and the big complex being built there, and the legislature being in session now, I feel like it would have been great to advocate our legislators to have put in language in the bill that they need to have public artworks in that complex as they build the complex. But how do we do that? Is there any one particular individual who's tasked with advocating for this or speaking in a hearing? So how do we get this done? How do we advocate? Because we don't want to break these rules.
That's a great question. With that advocacy, there are rules, and we don't want to do anything. We want to advocate, but we don't want to do anything out of the realm. So if you say, you see something like that going on, and you say, maybe, I would like to advocate for this, we're a resource for that too. If you want to go and do that advocacy, you're welcome to do whatever you would like as an individual. If you're doing it in the capacity of being an arts commissioner, maybe good to have a conversation with us first.
Holly Lay, for the record. And also, I think another thing, similarly to what the private development, percentage of private development, that usually is, if you know any developers, if you know anyone that might be participating in what you're talking about, if they would be an advocate for that. Also, your council person, of course, if we can get it politically moving. Also, your assembly person, just getting that. I know that the live entertainment tax, for example, there has been talks similarly with the Hollywood 2.0. So yeah, if you know anyone that might be involved, we can help also with facilitating conversations like that.
This is Commissioner Clevin. I think another part of advocacy too is inviting people to attend when they can, and sometimes it's just bringing awareness. So I'm going to assume that, even before I began on the Arts Commission, I didn't know about all of the art pieces that the city had acquired and programmed. So sometimes it's just inviting somebody to see it, and that is a simple form of advocacy that helps them learn. So it can be something like that as well.
So I have to admit that this is the first time seeing, some of the things we can and should be doing. Can we have it in paper?
It's in your binders.
Yeah, it is.
Because I'm looking at it, and can you give me some direction as to where it is?
In the back section of your binders, there should be a tab for the municipal code, specifically Chapter 2.34.
That talks about qualifications, everything under the code, but I think you had before, a couple of pages before of things that you may want to do.
Those are from the Public Art Master Plan,
Like,
which you should also, and this is online as well and in your binders. We can send you this presentation also.
yeah, I think that new commissioners, when you had in there, you inviting people to your home or a place and in your community to see certain artwork or someone, perhaps, that's, I have to admit, that's the first time I've heard of that's kind of encouraged. So that would be great. Thank you. There we go, leveraging your connections to foster relationships with local artists, organizations, and community members. Okay, I'm just saying that it would be great if you gave it to new people who are coming in as commissioners, like things you want to encourage and give examples.
Holly Lay, for the record. We can look into getting some more of these printed. I know there's new commissioners that never received these, and I have marked it all up. But these examples come straight from that master, they're not exact, but they come from different parts of that master plan and the implementation plan, specifically in the 2-year mark. But like Mary said, it is online, so you can download it as a PDF and print it yourself if you'd like. But we'll look into getting some of these for the commissioners.
It doesn't
that would
have to be
like them.
fancy, just black and white lettering is good.
Okay.
This is Commissioner Clevin. In the back of your binder under master plans, it's printed for you, and you're welcome to pop that out and take it home with you as well for all of the commissioners. You're welcome to do that with the municipal code.
Master plan, yeah, right here. You did? Yeah. It's under master plan.
All right, are there any other questions for item number 8?
I have one.
If not, we're going to move on to agenda item number 9. Discussion for possible action regarding a public art project that incorporates medium other than painted murals and sculpture within the city of Las Vegas.
There we go, we're working. I'm the one that initially last month brought this up for discussion, and to date, I have spoken to 2 individuals that are experts or highly respected professionals in their industry, one being the high-resolution scans, and one being wall wraps and vinyl reproduction. I have spoken to them, hoping they would be here today to speak to us, to give a little input as to that side of the artistic artwork reproduction skills. They are available next month, and I'll bring that up when we get to item 13. Possibly they could show up next month and give more insights as to that whole process. The whole purpose for me bringing up the other uses of the artwork other than, painting the side of a building or doing a sculpture in a city-owned property is to not omit the other, as I call them, creatives in Las Vegas, a city of 2.3 million people, that are artistic, but they don't paint. They don't paint on the side of a building, yet their work can be showcased artistically throughout the city, promoting the city in other ways, utilizing a high-resolution scan and reproducing it on acrylic, on canvas, on paper, on textile, etc. Any questions from the other commissioners or input would be greatly appreciated.
And Holly Lay, for the record. Staff just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that we've done in our collection already that are a little bit not the standard mural or sculpture you're talking about. But we do have like the banner project where we're able to give different artists that opportunity to have public art. We recently did vinyl wraps with the parking meters downtown. And that's something we wanted to just mention when we do our project development meeting and we're talking about new projects. There are so many avenues that these projects could take. Like, for example, with Clark County, they hire graphic designers to do maps for different projects for them, to give them opportunities. There are ways to give photographers, videographers opportunities to be documenting projects. So just things to consider like that, we think is a great thing to start thinking about.
Yeah, Holly, one of the ideas, and I thought it was a brilliant idea, they do this in New York City. They do a traveling art exhibit with wraps on city-owned vehicles. And you can rotate that monthly by doing a wrap. In that way, that artistic flavor goes throughout the city. And with all the wards that we have here in the city, you know, 1 week those repair vans or those vans or whatever are going to travel through the city with a revolving art exhibit. And the other thing with the high-resolution scan that New York did, that Boston did, that I don't feel we're doing, and I've only been here, 9 years, is the reproducing of the high-resolution scan on different materials. You can have a traveling exhibit that isn't permanent because it's movable. You're not locked into doing a mural on the side of a building that gets graffiti. This can be moved all over the city, all different wards, and you can get corporate sponsorship to put a lot of money into this that would promote the arts in the city.
Great, thank you. Are there any further discussions? I don't think there's okay, go ahead.
I think it's a great idea because of the cost efficiency of it, and it makes art so much more available to the public. And I think I think art should be affordable and available and appreciated. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not a great art curator, but I do appreciate art. And when I see it, I'm like, oh, this is really cool. So I really appreciate your idea, Commissioner Portnoy.
Thank you. I just want to mention, I'm looking at the considerations. I'm really not talking the outdoor use of the vinyl wraps. That would be interior. That would be inside buildings. As far as the $20 to $60 per square foot, my people do it a lot less. And because of who they are and respected in the industry, they are dying to get involved, for very small stipends because it promotes who they are and what they do, and getting that out into the public is huge.
Holly Lay, for the record. We wanted to bring this up because, particularly with the costs, one place that we try to recommend not to cut costs would be to pay artists. Our goal is to pay the artists in the community fairly, and the national standard is $20 to $60 a square foot for a mural, for example.
For the artist.
Yeah, for
Okay,
the
all
artist,
right,
for their design, for their work, the insurance, everything involved. It's all inclusive, but that is typically how things are priced. As far as artists doing things for less money, maybe for a trade or something, as for the city, we want to pay people.
Sure.
And we want to be fair.
Well, listen, I totally, not to interrupt, but I totally agree with you. Listen, it all comes down to the bottom dollar. However, if you correspond it with a competitive, you're getting a certificate, award-winning, that has as much value to as a working artist as actually getting paid if they're getting recognition for the work of art that they did. So you can kind of group it in different levels where they're getting paid what they should get paid. As a working artist, I totally agree with that. But also, and I'll just use this as an example. I'm not trying to promote it. When I did the large 28 by 40 foot mural for the Raiders inside the stadium, believe me, what I got paid for that was ridiculously ridiculous. However, I'm in front of 20 million people a year. That was worth more than the money. That's all I'm saying. There are other avenues to make it work.
Are there additional comments? I just also want to add, as an artist, paying people for exposure is just not, like, to me, it's not okay. That's all I'm saying. And a national standard it's a good rule of thumb for this commission and this body to follow, because we are a national stage for arts and entertainment. So I do not think we should pay any less than national average.
Great.
All right, thank you. Are there, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Commissioner Roberts. I just want to have some clarity on what's being asked. Are we looking for a specific project, or is this something that we're looking to get some integration into maybe our mural list for interior applied murals, that we might have a different selection of artists that maybe don't work in paint to get them in those situations, or kind of what do we, or is this just kind of informational?
This is Mary Sabo for the record. This was just a topic for discussion. There's no specific ask with this agenda item. I'll just provide an example real quick of so the West Side Education and Training Center project that I'm working on. The way that our projects are allocated, that was identified as a CIP project where we wanted to have public art, and we were given, we had our annual % for the arts transfer, which you guys we brought you the projects, you voted on them, you accepted that project and that budget for that project. So with that budget that was allocated for the West Side Education and Training Center, they wanted a sculpture and a mural. So I'm looking at that budget that's been allocated for that project. I'm saying, okay, we have this much that we need for a mural, this much for a sculpture. And for that, I was looking at other options, because it is a very large, it's multiple walls. And, looking at the timeline of someone painting a mural versus applying something, if I were to have, gone the route of like a vinyl wrap or something like that for that project, the entire budget would have gone to that, just the installation. So we found that, just realistically for some of these projects and the budgets we have, we want as much of it to go to a working artist as possible. For larger projects like that, that's usually ends up being more feasible, but definitely, that parking meter art wrap project was great. It was a chance for people to submit artworks that they already had. They were paid a licensing fee, and yeah, so a size definitely plays a factor into it as well.
Yeah, for the record, that mural and that sculpture that you chose, brilliant, really well done, really well done.
All right, thank you. Any other comments? If none, I think we can move on to agenda item number 10, discussion for possible action regarding a public art project related to sports and athletic champions within the city of Las Vegas.
Again, Commissioner Portnoy, I think I brought that up combined with the different elements of using, high-res scans. I think we need to discuss how do we recognize two world champions. We have the Golden Knights and you have the Las Vegas Aces, the WNBA two-time world champion, and the Las Vegas Golden Knights, second, third year in existence, winning the Stanley Cup. Great, you know what? We gave them a parade downtown like every other city. We have T-Mobile Arena. You have the practice facility up in Summerlin. One of the issues that we will deal with, I had to deal with, is on staff of the Golden Knights and on staff of the Las Vegas Aces, they have what's called a creative director. And the creative director is basically a 35-year-old millennial who pushes buttons to create artwork. Now, nothing against graphic design. It's the future. I mean, that's what they're doing. But we have extremely creative, talented artists in this city, and I think as an arts commission, we should possibly look at working with them in one of the districts, all of the districts, a traveling exhibit. I don't care how it's done, but we should, as an arts community, be recognizing the two world champions in this city.
Yeah. Okay. No, go ahead. Okay. Yeah, thank you. This is Sapira. So I just wanted to share two experiences that I had. So I am an Aces fan, like big fan, right? When they won their first championship, I painted a portrait of Asia Wilson in ink. I posted on Instagram. And Clark County Public Art reached out like, hey, let's do a show about our champions. It was, the open call came, they scheduled the show, nobody applied. They extended the deadline twice. Nobody was interested in submitting any artwork. The show was ultimately canceled. So I want to think about how invested our community is in this theme, like how can we actually make this where people are invested. And also when I read the agenda item, I know we're kind of a governing body that needs to be fiscally responsible, right, in this vein. I don't think we'll forget anytime soon that we paid with public dollars $750 million for the first stadium, and we have another 380 promised for public dollars, right, for the Aces, the Oakland Aces. So an article actually came out on Nevada Policy yesterday on this specific issue about how much public dollars invest in stadium. They don't really get a return on investment, even if, even considering like civic pride and quality of life externalities. This is based off of a 2022 study that came out that followed a I'm sorry, I don't have the exact date, a 1997 meta survey that came out. So I personally love sports. I personally love the Aces, but I just want to think about using public dollars to fund this work. And also, I want to also mention that staff time is also a resources that we should consider as well.
One of the things to really consider, any professional fan base, any professional sports team has seasons ticket holders. The Golden Knights have a huge fan base with multiple social media groups, as well as the Aces, more the Golden Knights than the Aces. I'm saying this as a former professional athlete. I was in the industry. You go to the fan bases, you go to the seasons ticket holders, and for an additional X amount of dollars that they contribute, trust me, they will fund the project because they want a reproduction of that original artwork. That's how you get it done.
Holly Lay, for the record, we just wanted to, before the conversation, to make a couple statements about the differences with the boundaries of city limits versus county, but also all the things the county has been doing, like Sapira mentioned. And at that point, I was working for the county. And I remember we did several sports calls because it was a huge request from the Arts Commission for the county. And no one applied to any of them that we put out. So it ended up not working out. But with that said, the county did do a stadium utility box program where they had artists pay several utility boxes in the stadium district. And they have pieces that are sports related in their collection. And we just wanted to point out that we don't have in city limits a professional sports team except for the Vegas Lights. And beyond that, a big part of the city with sports would be the leagues. There's a lot of leagues in our parks and a lot of families that play. So thinking more of taking that into consideration if we're going to do a sports-related piece, just thinking about the direct community of the city.
Commissioner Hackett-Morgan, this is my parting shot. Thank you, Holly, for bringing up the geographic differences between the county, Clark County, and the city of Las Vegas, which is the body we serve. You know, one thing I can throw out there is we have several exhibition programs that within the city as well as with the county. And, you know, I could see this being a rah-rah rallying point of getting people to make work, because I also paint baseball. My first baseball painting was at Cashman Field. So, you know, it's, I share your enthusiasm for it, but I'm also kind of aware that we don't really have it going on in the city proper. It's in that mythical Las Vegas where it's all taking place.
Interesting.
Excuse me, the county is not mythical. But I mean, there are other ways to skin that. I'm just not so sure it's in the purview of this body to wave a flag when we don't even have a pennant.
This is Mary Sabo for the record. Thank you, Suzanne. And I just wanted to reiterate what Holly said about our sports leagues within the city. They do fabulous programming, and they are very well loved by the community. All of our great parks, I mean, I believe our parks and recreation facilities are award winning. And it's something that is very important to the community. So I think, yeah, if we do want to focus on something, it should include those leagues and those places and those communities.
This is Commissioner Clevin. I just want to kind of jump off of what Commissioner Chirk said. I think it is really important for us to be cognizant of the public dollars that we're stewarding through this commission. I love the idea of professional sports, and I personally watch, and I enjoy the entertainment as well. And to your point about season ticket holders wanting to support something like that, I think that's wonderful, and I think it's great for private development. I think once we cross the line into public, that's where it gets a little bit more sticky. We also don't solicit any kind of donations to the city of Las Vegas. If that's something that we find to be very popular, that goes strictly through the Mayor's Fund for Las Vegas Life. But I also want to point out the examples that Holly and Mary have provided us. They're broad, so they naturally will bring in more people to that type of maybe practice or type of sport. So I think we're really cognizant of that because we have so many parks, and we're really fortunate to be a part of Park Track and Cultural Affairs. So we're always thinking about when we are programming at a park that we want, and the park is activated through especially the sports leagues that we have, and like Mary said, are so beloved. We want to kind of encourage their output, so we want to make artwork that maybe references the activities in the park. So I think that there is some artwork through the athletics within the city of Las Vegas. It's just not so specific about one team or one person or one player.
Okay, good point.
This is Commissioner Westfield. I'm listening to everybody. I don't know how many people were here back in the 70s and 80s when UNLV Rebels was the biggest thing in town. There was all kind of everything around town. So I think what's changing about our city is sports, professional sports is new here. We have a lot of transient people, but it is bringing the city together and making it a real city. So I think there's two arguments, but I have to say my ex-husband played for 18 years in NBA, and we would get bothered by people coming to our house and coming to our gate. So yes, once you start having winning teams, it is something that they want. So most cities that have good sports teams, you will see that. So I think there's two arguments here, but definitely when Vegas is about winning, so when they have winning teams, they support it. So, and the Rebels was a prime example. So I know that if it was back then when we only had 200,000 people, definitely now we have close to 3 million people. And the city probably,
Also, one point to back that up, and I'll end, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but what made the Golden Knights extremely successful was, here we are, we're getting hockey in the desert. Who's going to watch hockey in the desert, right? And all of a sudden the thought was, well, if the Boston Bruins come in, all the people from Boston living in Vegas are going to go to the games. The Chicago Blackhawks come in, everybody. All of a sudden they started winning. But the Knights did it the right way. They went into the city, into the community, and connected with the people of Las Vegas. All of that combined, we had a winner.
This is Commissioner Roberts. I think, we talk about things that we can do in a community to promote art. And I agree with a lot of what's been said, that this might not be something that directly falls in the purview of a program that we should do. But this discussion, in and of itself, is something that we as commissioners should promote and should have. So Commissioner Portnoy, I appreciate you bringing it up. I think getting the word out that, 10 years ago, 11 years ago, the Mountain Ridge Little League, they were national champions, right? Based on what happened there. UNLV just won another national championship on Tuesday. There are great things that are happening in this city, and there is an opening for artists to express themselves in and through depicting sport. And we should encourage that, and I think we should encourage that with the parks as they happen, to continue to have that. And one day, if there is an artist that decides to donate a Mark Stone statue and someone's got to figure out where to put it, awesome. Let's do that, and I hope we're all there and say, I love it or I hate it, or I can't believe they put it on this corner, because art should make us talk about it.
Touche.
But I think the big thing is, have the conversation. I don't think it's something that we're going to tackle here, other than promoting it as, if that's a message you want to put in your art, that's definitely a story being told in Las Vegas.
well, one thing to add to that, this is Commissioner Westfield, we do have to be careful, because when you talk about professional sports, you have to get permission by the league and by the players, and people have to approve it, so it's a whole can
Tell
of
me
worms.
about it, yeah.
Yeah.
licenses,
Right.
It's the bottom line, you don't send the NFL your contract. The NFL sends you theirs. Yeah.
All right, great, thank you. Any other comments? All right, so we'll move on to agenda item number 11, discussion for possible action regarding abolishment of the following subcommittee: Education Subcommittee, Project Development Subcommittee, Public Art Advisory Commission, and Fast Track Subcommittee.
This is Mary Sabo for the record. This is a topic that has come up a few times before, and we wanted to have the commission discuss it. The idea would be that instead of meeting just as a smaller subcommittee to discuss the educational programming and the other subcommittee topics, that we would just do it all as a full commission. So instead of having our 3:30 p.m. Education subcommittee is the most active of the subcommittees. I don't think the Fast Track Committee has ever met. But so for that, instead of doing that as a pre-Arts Commission meeting, separate meeting, that information would just be presented as a discussion for the whole commission. And then the other subcommittee that does meet is the Project Development Subcommittee. Typically, we have that meeting in August, where we present, with the percent for the arts budget, we present new proposed projects that are then taken to the September meeting for voting. We would not do that project development subcommittee meeting. We would show the whole commission all of these proposed projects, discuss it more as a full group, and then continue with the voting in September.
This is Commissioner Portnoy. What are the advantages, disadvantages, if you had to put them in categories, to doing what you want to do? I think that that's the right move to go, but are there any advantages, disadvantages?
This is Commissioner Clevin. I've been on the Education Subcommittee for some time, and we usually meet for maybe 15 minutes and get updates about what's going on. So it feels like that's something that we could present to the whole commission so that the whole commission knows what's going on, and the whole commission has the opportunity to maybe pitch ideas or pitch artists that might be willing to be a part of the education series. So I think that's a big pro. I'm not sure that the con is that it could make the meetings last maybe a little bit longer, but I think the meaningful discussion, it probably outweighs that, and it might just take us maybe, again, like 10 or 15 minutes, because we're going to absorb the subcommittee conversation.
This is Mary Sabo. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think the major pro would just be more, adding more voices to these discussions. And I think a pro of subcommittees is the idea that, when you get a smaller group of people together, you maybe get more momentum. It's easier to, kind of agree on like a plan of action. But historically, that's not been like a huge pro of the actual subcommittees that we have. I think this commission works best when there is, a full range of members and everyone's part of the conversation. That's my 2 cents.
I think good idea.
This is Commissioner Chi. Can I make a motion to pass that suggestion?
I would second that. That's a motion to eliminate the subcommittees.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you. Okay, moving on to agenda item number 12. Oh, I'm sorry. Agenda item, number 12. Report by Cultural Affairs staff regarding the Governor's Art Award program that ended in 2012.
Holly Lay for the record. Today, we wanted to talk about what that Governor's Arts Award was, if you had never heard of it. It was inaugurated in 1979 as the Decade Awards, and then became the Governor's Arts Awards, and it was an annual event for the Nevada Arts Council. Through this program, the Nevada Arts Council and the Office of the Governor recognized outstanding contributions to Nevada through artistic achievement and service to the arts by artists, educators, arts organizations, corporate and individual patrons, public figures, and dedicated volunteers. This program started in 1990 and then wrapped up in 2012. And we wanted to bring this information to you all, and then wanted to ask Suzanne, who requested this topic, if you would like to lead any conversation about the Governor's Arts Award.
Well, I think it's a program that's missed very much in our state. And, we always, no, let me not put it that way. If we had our own set of awards down here, we wouldn't have to hear the stuff we always hear about everything going up to the north. So I think we've got the size, we've got the talent, we've got the interest. It might be really a fun thing to reinstate or retool for being a Southern Nevada, City of Las Vegas, Clark County Arts Awards.
Query, Pauline Lee, Commissioner. Are you talking about, when you say governor, you're talking about the state of Nevada governor?
It was a program of this Nevada State Arts Council.
And I
yes.
noticed that there's no fiscal note, and I'm happy to approach the governor. Governor Lombardo is very much an education governor. He is very much an arts governor. He himself has several grandchildren who are in the arts. I would be happy to approach him. I do need some parameters.
Yeah, I think it would be a wonderful legacy for this commission to reinstate, because I can tell you, it was a important distinction to be awarded one of these things.
I'm sure he'd be happy to. Right now, he's pretty busy with the legislature, and he will be until middle June. I'm more than happy to approach the governor. I'm pretty sure he'll be very positive about this. He, after all, is a resident of Las Vegas.
Commissioner Chi, question, why did it end?
This is Commissioner Chirk. I work for the Nevada Arts Council, and I actually did get in contact with some folks who had work during that time when the program was canceled or ended. It was the recession that happened in 2009, and due to the budget cuts, the program was no longer able to continue, and it was a lot of work for staff to host an award dinner. We're a really, really small council, and we can't, as a state agency, we can't pay for food or drink, so it was incredibly difficult to host an award. So I do want to share that we do have a fellowship program, a visual art fellowship program that recognizes outstanding artists in the state. There are actually 3 fellows that have won this FY25 that are from the South. I run those fellowship program. It's really, really, really intensive and rigorous review process. You really have to dedicate like 2-3 staff for 3 to 4 months to run this. So these are all great ideas, but we do have artists that we can recognize now. In addition to that, we also have a traveling exhibition of these artists' work that we tour around the state. If we want to recognize them, maybe host a little event, get together for them, we can book that exhibition and then, celebrate our local artists. We can invite them to come. Cristo Ramirez, who appeared earlier, is one of our winners. So that could be something we can explore that wouldn't add too much to any one program. Yeah. Good idea.
This is Commissioner Portnoy. Can we rebrand it in a different form to exactly what you just discussed? In conjunction with, but rebrand it. Not call it so much the Governor's Art Awards because it is state, right? Correct? But if we can rebrand it in a different form, I think it would work.
This is Commissioner Chair. Currently, it's called the Nevada Arts Council Fellows. So it's an Artist Fellowship Award.
So it already exists?
Yes,
Okay.
it already exists.
And of course, having the governor there will attract a lot of people. So I'd like to work with you offline about how we can do that, so I get the parameters. And I just also want to hear from Mary and Holly. Will it impact your workload? A lot? A lot? A little? I mean, like...
Mary Sabo, for the record, everything kind of does, ultimately. But I mean, we will... Yeah, it sounds like whatever this is, it's still in like the obviously very early stages of discussion. So happy to have those conversations when we know more about maybe what the ask is.
All right, any other comments? If there are none, we'll move on to item number 13. Discussion regarding topics for future agenda item. Comments made during this portion of the agenda by individual members shall refer solely to proposals for future agenda item, and any discussion shall be limited whether or not such proposed item are within the purview of the commission and or whether such proposed item shall be placed on a future agenda. No discussion regarding the substance of any such proposed topic shall occur and no action shall be taken. Suggestions?
Commissioner Portnoy, again, I seem to be taking over the microphone this whole month, but I just want to, with the okay of the commissioners, to bring in those 2 individuals to speak for 5 minutes in front of us and fill our brains with knowledge of the industry of the vinyl and the industry of the high-resolution scan technique. That's all.
Thank you.
Commissioner Chi, for the record. My only request is that when the new sculpture outside across the street comes up, I think would really be nice for increasing awareness of what this commission does, to do a ribbon cutting ceremony with the artist or whatnot, instead of just, so it's a separate thing with all of us there when that sculpture is ready. So I don't know if that's in the event planning part, but just something for us to be a part of.
This is Mary Sabo for the record. Yeah, we always have a dedication event for the completion of all of our projects, and I'm sure that the Civic Plaza one will be a particularly eventful and, highly attended and great event. Yeah, we can definitely, again, going back to those master plan recommendations, I would say that one thing that we as staff majorly kind of need help with is event planning. We love having events for these projects and for all of our programming. That's one thing that it's just like another added thing, and we would love kind of commissioners' help with that in terms of inviting, ideas for what to do, inviting people, getting the word out. I don't know if that answers your question, but yes, dedication events, ribbon cuttings, all that. That would be a great place for all commissioners to kind of jump into these projects.
Awesome, thank you. Any other suggestions? Okay, we'll move on to agenda item number 14, citizen participation. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of the commission. No subject may be acted upon by the commission unless that subject is on the agenda and is scheduled for action. If you wish to be heard, please come forward and give your name for the record. The amount of time of discussion on any single subject, as well as the amount of time of any single speaker is allowed, it may be limited. Are there any public comments?
Good afternoon. My name is Renisha O'Donnell, and for the record, and I am the CEO of Renisha O'Donnell Coaching and Consulting, and I'm a musician and a passionate advocate for arts and education, and I'm currently on the board serving as co-chair of a school that is proposed to open in August of 2025 called Do and Be Arts Academy of Excellence. Excuse me. I'm here today to share why I believe arts integrated curriculum is essential for students' success and how creative expression has shaped my own journey. Growing up, my experiences as a musician and my passion for music provided me with more than just a creative outlet. It strengthened my confidence, expanded my problem-solving abilities, and gave me the resilience to navigate challenges. The arts taught me discipline and collaboration, and skills that I still use in my personal and professional life. At Do and Be Arts Academy of Excellence, we are embracing the power of arts integration, weaving creative experiences into core academic subjects. This approach deepens students' engagement and enhances their learning across all disciplines. When students create visual projects to explore historical events, when they're able to write songs to grasp math concepts, and perform scenes to analyze literature, they're learning in ways that really sticks with them. The arts cultivates critical thinking, emotional intelligence, and the genuine love of learning. Research supports that when students participate in arts-integrated programs, they consistently show higher academic achievements, improve social-emotional skills, and increase motivation. For students who may not thrive in traditional methods of instruction, the arts offers an added pathway to understanding self-expression and to academic success. Here in Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world, the arts is not just a form of expression. It is really the cornerstone of the identity and the economy here. We at D-Bay are cultivating the next generation of creators, innovators, and cultural leaders. By providing students with meaningful artistic expression, it really will enhance the city's legacy to ensure that Las Vegas continues to thrive as a global hub of entertainment and artistic excellence. I am honored to be the co-chair of Do and Be Arts Academy of Excellence, where it will be located in the 89108 area, which is City Council Ward 5. And I really believe that the opening of the school will create experiences for students from underserved communities and give them an opportunity to be part of a vibrant school community that also introduces them to visual and performing arts professionals that come from all disciplines. Thank you so much for your dedication to arts, and I welcome the opportunity to share more about Do and Be Arts Academy of Excellence, and all information about this Nevada State free public charter school. Will be K through 8 education, and all information can be found at dobeartsacademy.org. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Could you just say a moment? I'll speak with you after the commission meeting. Thank you. Any other public comments? Great, thank you. All right, so agenda item number 15, this meeting is adjourned.